Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie Lee and I am here today with the White Samurai Investment Group. And today we will be diving into wealth, identity and lifestyle, focusing on the three key topics of soft wealth lifestyle, money and femininity, and staying humble while growing. So, over this past year, since I have been at the White Samurai Investment Group, I have seen firsthand that wealth is not just about numbers in your bank account. It's about how you carry yourself, how you integrate money into your life, and how your mindset and identity influence growth. So, coming from a working class background myself, I grew up seeing money as either a source of stress or something flashy to impress others. It was never that I learnt about how to handle money or how I make it work for me or how to integrate it into my identity in a healthy way. Many of us are taught the exact same thing. So we're taught you have to work hard and save what we can and avoid big risks. But we're rarely taught how to think like the wealthy, how to see money as a tool for freedom and influence. So that changed when I started working under David Rains at White Samurai. I began to see the difference between people who have money and those who have wealth energy, the ability to live freely, confidently, strategically, without constantly shouting about it or seeking approval. So soft wealth is a lifestyle that I've noticed among high achieving women and men who understand that money is a tool and not a trophy. These individuals prioritize elegance, intentionality, and self-respect over conspicuous consumption. They integrate money into their lives seamlessly without letting it dominate their identity or relationships. Soft wealth isn't about flashy cars or expensive watches or designer clothing. It's just about freedom, balance, and living in a way that reflects both confidence and humility. So, another key observation I have noticed is that staying humble while growing is critical. I have seen quite a few people with rapid financial success lose control because they chase status and external validation or like recognition. True growth that I have noticed is quiet and deliberate. Wealthy individuals maintain humility, they focus on the long-term game, and understand that your actions and habits matter more than external applause. They measure success not by how others perceive them, but by the quality of their decisions, the strength of their investments, and the level of freedom they've created for themselves and their families. So by the end of this video, you will understand what soft wealth lifestyle looks like, how femininity and money can coexist authentically, and how humility plays a critical role in sustainable growth. My goal is to give you both mindset tools and practical habits to integrate wealth into your identity in a way that elevates your life rather than overwhelms it, helping you create long-term financial freedom while staying authentic and grounded. So before we get into it, I will share a story with you guys. So let me share you a story about a lady that I know. I met her through White Samurai, obviously. So she exemplifies soft wealth, and I'll call her Elena. So Elena grew up in a lower middle class household, just like myself, just like many of us as well. She associated wealth with extravagance, with luxury cars, designer clothes and bags and knickknacks and shoes, and status symbols. She worked tirelessly to climb her career ladder, thinking that money alone would define her success. But when she first came to White Samurai, Elena was making really good income, but she felt constantly exposed and anxious about appearing successful enough. Her spending was often impulsive and measured by her worth, and she measured her worth by what she could show off to her friends and colleagues. So she had wealth, but she didn't feel like she had freedom. She noticed that no matter how much money she made, the anxiety around appearances and social expectations never went away. Her life felt like a performance. Many women may feel that way. And the joy she thought that the money would bring her life was overshadowed by pressure to maintain an image. So over this past year, working under David Rains, Elena began not working under David Rains, David Rains was working for her essentially. So Elena began to shift her mindset. She learnt about soft wealth, a concept that I have noticed among some of our higher achieving clients. So instead of spending on flashy items to signal success, she invested in experiences and knowledge and assets that eventually compounded over time. She prioritized her self-care, aesthetics, and personal development. So she also created a life of elegance and intentionality. So as an example, instead of buying a luxury car to impress her colleagues, she invested in courses to expand her skills and started a side project that would eventually become a small passive income stream. These decisions weren't flashy. No one noticed immediately, but they built her confidence and her autonomy and her freedom as well. So Elena also began exploring the intersection of money and femininity. She realized that embracing her feminine energy, grace and intuition and authenticity didn't conflict with being financially savvy or ambitious. She learned that wealth could be integrated into her identity without losing her softness and confidence in her financial decisions. So they could amplify her sense of self rather than make her feel rigid or transactional or like put in a box. So she started to schedule her days with balance, allocating time for both strategic investments and personal wellness. She also cultivated hobbies and social connections that nurtured her creativity and emotional intelligence, understanding that these qualities, often dismissed as soft, were actually integral to her long-term success. So perhaps the most transformative change was how she approached humility. Instead of flaunting her success or comparing herself to others, Elena practiced gratitude and restraint. She understood that true growth doesn't need applause, because it doesn't. She focused on long-term gains rather than short-term validation. She made deliberate decisions like choosing to live in a modest apartment while saving aggressively and prioritizing mentorship over networking for appearances. She also avoided lifestyle inflation, resisting the urge to upgrade her wardrobe, that's a big one, or like small random things around the house just because she could. So by the end of the year, Elena's life looked completely different. She overhauled everything and it was such an incredible transformation. She had increased her net worth significantly, cultivated deeper relationships, and also developed a soft power that attracted opportunities without chasing them. She embodied the principle that I have learnt at White Samurai, which is wealth is amplified when it's integrated with identity, femininity, and humility rather than projected externally or consumed impulsively. She no longer measured success by others' approval, but by her sense of freedom, purpose, and confidence. So, one of the most striking lessons from Elena's journey so far is how small intentional decisions compound over time. Each choice to invest in herself, each refusal to succumb to status spending, and each step that she took to stay humble while growing created a momentum that transformed her entire life. So by shifting her perspective, she not only built financial security, but she also reclaimed her time and energy and her feminine identity. So all without needing to prove anything to anyone. And Elena's story really illustrates the truth that I want everyone watching to take away. Wealth is not only about money, it's about mindset, identity, and behavior. The soft wealth lifestyle allows you to grow financially while maintaining authenticity and grace. Money and femininity can coexist, and they do, empowering you to act with confidence and clarity. And humility is your growth. Humility ensures your growth is sustainable and respected. So that brings us to topic number 1. So the soft wealth lifestyle. The soft wealth lifestyle. So, soft wealth is more than just a way to manage money. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset and an identity. And that integrates financial discipline, personal elegance, and intentional living. Unlike flashy wealth, which is often very loud and sometimes quite obnoxious, attention seeking or status driven, obviously. Soft wealth is quiet because it's soft, it is deliberate, and it is strategic. So it allows individuals to live with freedom and confidence and purpose while growing their wealth sustainably. And at White Samurai, I have noticed that people who embody soft wealth have one thing all in common. They treat money as a tool, not as a trophy. So let me write that down. Treat money as a tool, not as a trophy. Treat money as a tool and not as a trophy. I was gonna draw a little trophy emoji, but I didn't know how. So they understand that true wealth is measured not by what you show off, by actual freedom, stability, and opportunities that your money create. While many people chase status symbols like luxury cars and designer everything, those practicing soft wealth really focus on what matters most: investments, personal growth, relationships, and time. So, some key principles of soft wealth are intentional spending. Probably sounds exactly like what it sounds like. Intentional spending is at the heart of soft wealth. Every dollar has a purpose. And purchases are made strategically. For instance, instead of buying a luxury handbag that depreciates immediately, a soft wealth individual might invest in a course to enhance skills, a passive income stream, or even a small business in some way. So intentional spending also involves evaluating life inflation. Many people increase their expenses as income grows, often items that signal status rather than utility. So soft wealth individuals resist this impulse. They understand the opportunity cost of every dollar, knowing that money invested wisely today can compound into much greater value tomorrow. Number 2, quiet growth. Soft wealth is inherently discreet. Those who practice it rarely announce achievements or investments publicly. They understand that wealth compounds more effectively when it's free from external pressure or the need of approval. Quiet growth also reduces stress, comparison, and unnecessary attention. Consider 2 people with the same income, right? One person posts every purchase on social media. They buy luxury goods and things and decor and shoes and handbags and everything else to impress their peers, their friends and their family. And they constantly measure themselves against their peers and their family and everyone around them. But the other person quietly invests, pays down debt, strategically builds assets, and over time, the latter's wealth grows exponentially, while the former risks financial instability and anxiety. Soft wealth is about letting actions speak louder than appearances. That's a good point. Number 3, elegance and aesthetics. Soft wealth is not being flashy. It's about refinement and taste. This is evident in clothing and homes and personal grooming and lifestyle choices. Elegance signals confidence and identity, but not money. So, for example, a soft wealth individual might choose a high quality, timeless wardrobe rather than chasing fast fashion or fast designer luxury clothing every season or every month or whatever it is. Homes are crafted with reflection to actual comfort and functionality and style rather than ostentation. Personal grooming and self-care are consistent and intentional. These choices reflect personal standards and self-respect, reinforcing that wealth is integrated into life rather than displayed for social validation. Number 4, financial literacy and discipline. Discipline is one of the cornerstones of soft wealth. Budgeting, investing, understanding risk, and tracking progress are daily habits. People who embodied soft wealth treat financial literacy as a lifelong practice, not a one-time achievement. As an example, they might schedule weekly reviews of investments. They might assess budgets monthly and research opportunities consistently. They track asset growth, return on investments, and debt reduction, ensuring decisions align with long-term goals. So this discipline also extends to emotional management. So avoiding impulsive purchases or reactionary spending driven by stress or literally any emotion, happy, comparison, joy, sadness, all of it. So number 5, time as a resource. So soft wealth individuals understand that time is the ultimate currency. They strategically allocate their time to high impact activities, delegate tasks that don't require their unique skills, and avoid distractions. So some people might outsource administrative tasks, automating bill payments or using productivity tools that ensure their energy is spent on wealth building activities, personal growth, and strategic decision making. Time is viewed as a leverage point, a resource that, when managed wisely, compounds as effectively as money. Number 6, mindset integration. Soft wealth isn't just about external choices, it's about identity, really in your soul. It requires adopting a mindset where wealth is a tool for freedom, influence, and personal growth rather than a measure of status or approval. Individuals practicing soft wealth see themselves as strategic, disciplined, and capable, grounding their confidence in internal standards rather than social expectations. This mindset helps avoid lifestyle inflation, impulsive spending, and social comparison. It also fosters resilience during financial setbacks, as identity is anchored in the principles rather than the possessions. So, number 7, community and influence. Soft wealth extends to relationships. Wealthy individuals often cultivate mentorship networks, supportive communities, and collaborations with like-minded peers. So these connections provide accountability for learning, opportunities, and access to strategic resources. So influence through soft wealth is subtle yet very powerful. Quiet confidence, reliability, and competence attract opportunities naturally. Unlike loud displays of wealth, soft wealth builds long-term credibility and trust. It helps to open doors that superficial status can't. So, some practical examples that you can use are investing in yourself. Instead of splurging on a flashy vacation, a soft wealth individual may enroll in a course that enhances learning potential, or if they want some kind of vacation or holiday apart from wherever they're living currently, they might go to some kind of business retreat where there is still relaxation and rejuvenation found from a holiday or a vacation, but they still have the chance, an opportunity to connect with like-minded people. So, quality over quantity. They choose timeless pieces and functional investments rather than trendy, depreciating items. Asset-centric spending. Money is allocated to stocks, real estate, or side ventures rather than short-term status symbols. Deliberate daily routines. Morning rituals, financial reviews, and strategic planning sessions become habits that compound over time. So, how soft wealth amplifies freedom. One of the biggest lessons I've observed at White Samurai is that soft wealth is empowering, especially for a lot of women. By prioritizing intentional spending and time management, individuals gain freedom in multiple dimensions. Financial freedom, money is invested for long-term growth, creating security and reducing anxiety. Time freedom, strategic delegation and prioritization free up time for high impact activities and personal fulfillment. Emotional freedom, by avoiding comparison and status chasing, stress and social pressure are minimized. Relational freedom. Relationships are built on trust and authenticity rather than ego or appearances. So, what are the steps to adopt a soft wealth lifestyle? So, you want to audit your spending. You have to do it. Track purchases for 1 month, categorize everything, and add value. Add the particular categories as value adding or status driven. And number 2, invest first. Allocate money to assets that grow before spending on consumables. Number 3, prioritize time management. Delegate tasks, automate processes, and focus on high impact actions. Number 4, cultivate discipline. Develop weekly and monthly financial reviews and monitor long-term goals. Number 5, align identity with wealth. Make sure that your choices are based on your principles, not external validation. Number 6, build strategic networks. Engage with the community. Engage in mentors and peers and people that embody a true soft wealth lifestyle. Soft wealth is not just a financial strategy. It's a lifestyle transformation, hence the lifestyle. Over time, these habits compound like interest, producing wealth, confidence, and influence quietly and sustainably. So that brings us to topic number 2. Money and femininity. Femininity. Money and femininity. So, there is a common misconception that financial ambition diminishes femininity, depending on who's talking about it. But nothing could be further from the truth. At White Samurai, I have seen countless women who integrate money and feminine energy authentically, that achieve greater influence and respect and results than those who try to emulate masculine behaviors superficially. So, in fact, embracing femininity while building wealth can be a superpower that creates both personal and financial growth in ways that aggression or performative masculinity cannot. So, money and femininity coexist through intentional practice and mindset alignment. So, let's break down what this looks like in an everyday situation. So, you need to have confidence in your decisions. Women embracing both wealth and femininity make assertive financial choices without aggression. They trust both their intuition and strategy. So, as an example, when deciding on investments, they weigh both analytical data and personal instincts. This combination often leads to smarter, more nuanced decisions. Unlike someone who enters blindly, that follows data, or relies purely on gut instinct, they create a balance. This approach maximizes long-term returns while staying authentic to their values. So, confidence comes from understanding preparation and knowing your worth, not showing off wealth. Number 2, empathy and leadership. I might actually just write that first one down. Confidence in decisions. Number 2, empathy and leadership. So, feminine energy allows for natural relationship building and leadership. Many women think that business and investing require adopting a cutthroat masculine approach, but that isn't true. Soft, empathetic leadership fosters trust, collaboration, and loyalty. In investing or business, these qualities open doors to partnerships, opportunities, and mentorships that purely transactional strategies cannot. Empathy, combined with strategic financial thinking, allows women to navigate networks effectively, building wealth while strengthening relationships. Number 3, authenticity over pretense. authenticity over pretense. So, a key principle of money and femininity is authenticity. So, women who integrate wealth and femininity avoid status purchases or superficial displays of success. They understand that the true influence and power comes quietly through consistency, reliability, and intelligence rather than flashy appearances. For an example, instead of buying a very expensive car to impress other people, they might invest in real estate or start a small little side hustle or attend a professional development program. These choices might not be immediately visible, but they do build long-term security and respect. Authenticity also creates a magnetic presence. People are naturally drawn to someone who is confident and grounded and self-aware, which in turn attracts opportunities. Number 4, balance and self-care. Self-care. So, money and femininity also require balance. Time must be invested in not only work, investing, or skill building, but also in self-care, wellness, and personal growth. Wealthy women understand that burnout erodes both money-making capacity and quality of life. So they prioritize rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. This balance ensures sustainable wealth building while maintaining emotional and physical well-being. As an example, a morning routine that includes planning the day, journaling, or exercise can sharpen focus and decision making, allowing for smarter money management and more effective professional interactions. Number 5, strategic use of soft power. Soft power. Feminine energy can also be a form of soft power in negotiations and decision making. Women can use listening, persuasion, and emotional intelligence to navigate deals, influence outcomes, and secure opportunities without aggressive tactics. So, this form of strategic influence often produces results that brute force over dominance cannot. Soft power also enhances credibility when combined with financial literacy. It signals competence, confidence, and sophistication. Number 6, financial literacy and discipline. Financial plus discipline. Integrating femininity with wealth doesn't mean abandoning rigor. Discipline, budgeting, investing, and understanding risk are crucial. The difference is in the approach. Decisions are informed rather than reactive or performative. So, women who master this integration align their financial actions with their values. So, they create a life where money serves freedom, opportunity, and self-expression rather than ego or external validation. Number 7, mentorship and community. Mentorship. Yes. Community. Many women underestimate the power of learning from others. Wealth and femininity are definitely amplified when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals that they might be peers or mentors who embody similar principles. By observing how others integrate identity and confidence and strategic financial decisions, women can accelerate their growth while remaining authentic. Community also provides accountability, encouragement, and perspective, all of which are essential to sustaining long-term wealth mindset. So, some practical steps to integrate money and femininity into your life. You want to audit your spending and investments. So, you want to make sure that everything aligns with your values and long-term goals. Cultivate daily rituals that reinforce confidence, clarity, and focus. Prioritize relationships and networking as strategic assets. Seek mentors and communities that model successful integration of wealth and authenticity. Reflect on decisions through both logic and intuition, balancing strategic thinking with inner guidance. So, by aligning feminine energy with financial literacy and discipline, women can cultivate influence without losing authenticity. Money becomes a tool for empowerment and confidence and personal freedom rather than a mechanism for comparison or dominance. So ultimately, integrating money and femininity creates a lifestyle where wealth is not just accumulated, but lived gracefully, allowing women to enjoy both the material and emotional benefits of financial success while staying true to themselves. So this approach really reinforces the principle that I've observed at White Samurai, which is identity and mindset are the foundations of sustainable wealth, and femininity is a source of strength, influence, and power rather than a limitation. So this brings us to our third topic, staying humble while growing. Staying humble while growing. Humility is a cornerstone of sustainable wealth. Many people achieve financial success quickly, but fail to sustain it because they equate wealth with status, recognition, or external validation. True growth, however it comes, requires staying humble while scaling your wealth. A principle I have seen consistently at White Samurai among those who achieve long-term financial freedom. When I first joined White Samurai, one of the biggest lessons that I learnt from David Rains is wealth is amplified, not diminished, by humility. Humility doesn't mean diminishing your accomplishments or avoiding ambition. It means understanding your place in a bigger system, valuing learning over ego, making decisions that prioritize long-term results over short-term recognition. So, why does humility matter in building wealth? Who cares? Well, you want to make sure that you are continuously learning. So, learn continuously. Learn continuously. So, humble individuals recognize that there are always more ways to learn. They remain curious, they seek mentorship, and are open to feedback. This mindset allows for faster growth and reduces the risk of costly mistakes. For example, someone who understands they don't know everything about investing will consult experts or research consistently and diversify strategies rather than making decisions impulsively based on pride or ego or what they think they might know. Humility keeps you teachable, adaptable, and resilient, which is essential for suitable financial sustainable growth. Number 2, relationship building. Relationship building. Wealth isn't built in isolation. Humble individuals cultivate relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual benefit. These relationships often become crucial for opportunities, partnerships, and guidance. By contrast, arrogance or overconfidence can alienate potential allies, mentors, or collaborators. So, staying humble allows you to leverage the collective knowledge and influence of your network, which amplifies growth beyond what any individual could achieve alone. So, number 3, long-term focus. Humble wealth builders prioritize the long game over short-term applause. They understand that flashy displays of wealth, status purchases, or ostentatious behavior may provide temporary validation, but they rarely contribute to lasting financial security. Staying humble ensures decisions are strategic, are disciplined, and are aligned with long-term goals. For instance, someone may decline a social invitation or a trendy purchase because it doesn't align with their broader financial plan. A decision rooted in humility and foresight. Number 4, emotional resilience. Is that going to fit there? Emotional resilience. So, humility fosters emotional stability. By valuing substance over appearance, humble individuals are less likely to be affected by envy or competition or societal peer pressure. They don't measure their worth against others' success, but they focus on their own journey. This resilience allows them to navigate setbacks, market volatility, and unexpected challenges with composure and clarity. Emotional stability is often undervalued in wealth creation, but it is critical for consistent sustainable growth. Number 5, avoiding lifestyle inflation. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. So, one of the most common pitfalls of growing wealth is lifestyle inflation, increasing spending as income rises. So, humble individuals resist the urge to equate money with social standing or self-worth. Instead, they prioritize their investments and assets and opportunities for growth over status symbols. This restraint allows wealth to compound quietly, sustainably, ensuring that financial success is durable rather than fleeting. So, some practical ways to stay humble while growing. Daily reflection or gratitude. So you want to start each day by reflecting on your journal and expressing gratitude for progress made, even the smallest of progresses. So you want to acknowledge wins without arrogance and setbacks without self-criticism. This practice reinforces humility, perspective, and focus, keeping your mindset aligned with long-term growth. Mentorship and learning. Seek mentors who challenge your thinking, provide honest feedback, and model humility themselves. Humble individuals understand wealth is a shared process. Learning from those who have gone before accelerates success and avoids unnecessary mistakes. Avoid public comparison. Resist the urge to compare your journey to others on social media, at events, or in your social circles. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it often fuels ego-driven decisions that derail long-term planning. Instead, measure success against your own benchmarks and principles, not external validation. Focus on value creation. Humble growth emphasizes creating value over seeking recognition. Whether it's in business, investing, personal finance, ask yourself, am I adding value to myself or others or my community? Wealth that is tied to real value creation is sustainable, respected, and scalable. Set intentional boundaries. Humility allows you to make strategic choices without seeking approval. So this may include turning down opportunities that don't align with goals, avoiding status-driven purchases, or declining events that distract from growth. Boundaries focus and ensure. Boundaries protect focus and ensure that energy is directed towards high impact actions. Celebrate quiet wins. So you want to recognize and celebrate progress privately or with trusted circles, so a couple of your friends or your family. Rather than seeking external praise, acknowledge milestones, financial growth, or skill development internally. This practice reinforces humility while reinforcing motivation and self-discipline. So, a real-life example that I have witnessed a couple of times at White Samurai, where humility directly contributed to sustainable wealth. So, for instance, one client who scaled a business rapidly but chose not to flaunt profits on social media or in social circles. Instead, they reinvested earnings, sought mentorship, and quietly refined their operations. So within a few years, their business had grown exponentially while their competitors who sought status recognition often overextended mismanaged finance. So they also burnt out as well. And another example that I will mention is clients in investing, those who approach markets with humility, that acknowledge what they don't know, study consistently, and following disciplined strategies outperform those who rely solely on confidence or bravado. So humility allows them to observe, learn, and execute without ego-driven mistakes. So you want to adopt some of these mindset shifts to embrace humility. You want to make sure that your identity is over income. So understand that your identity is not defined by your net worth. Humility reinforces your actions, habits, and your principles that are more important than the appearance of wealth. You want to service-oriented thinking. So wealth can be a vehicle for impact. Humble individuals often shift focus from accumulation to how they can serve others, whether through mentorships, philanthropy, or creating opportunities for their community. This shift does not only foster respect, but it also creates long-term lasting influence. So you want to make sure that patience is part of your principle. So humility encourages patience. Wealth takes time to build, and growth is rarely linear. Staying humble, you avoid rash decisions, avoid short-term risks or impulsive spending, allowing compound growth to work effectively, and you want to learn from setbacks. So humility allows for reflection on mistakes without shame or ego-driven denial. Each setback becomes a lesson that fuels smarter strategies, ensuring that growth is both resilient and informed. So, what are the actionable steps to take, Deb? You want to keep a daily journal for reflection on wins, lessons, and areas that you can improve on. Review your spending and investments monthly to ensure that they align with your long-term goals. You want to seek mentorship and surround yourself with like-minded people. You want to practice gratitude and maintain perspective and avoid arrogance. Focus on value creation and contributions rather than status displays. And you want to develop routines that reinforce discipline, learning, and emotional resilience. So, today we explored how wealth identity and lifestyle is more than just accumulating money. It's about integrating wealth with mindset, identity, and your behavior. We began by examining the soft wealth lifestyle, highlighting how quiet, intentional choices, strategic investments, and disciplined habits create long-term freedom and influence. Soft wealth prioritizes elegance, functional spending, and compounding growth over flashy displays or status purchases. By focusing on time management, financial literacy, and personal standards, you can allow your wealth to grow quietly, sustainably, and powerfully. Next, we did discuss money and femininity. So we demonstrated that financial ambition does not conflict with embracing feminine energy. And finally, we explored staying humble while growing. So that was essential for long-term success. And I just want to thank you for making it this far, if you did. And I'll hold this up in a second so you can look at the notes for this topic and video. And please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to my channel, where we discuss a whole plethora of topics on financial freedom. And please check out White Samurai Investment Group for all of your nitty-gritty questions and queries, or you can comment on this video or message me, and myself or the White Samurai team will do our best to help you. Thank you. Bye.